All right, next up in the Cres Cor unit, we're going to do a little Korean Bo Ssam. So that's going to use the cook and hold feature of the Quick-Therm cook and hold convection oven. And so let's get that started. So I did my temperature here. I preset it to 275. We've put in the probe, and I've set my probe to 200 degrees. And once the probe reaches 200 degrees, then it's going to back down and it's going to hold to 150 degrees. All the time it's going to have 30% moisture in the cabin. So at this point, all I have to do is open the door, put the probe in, and we are going to be set for tomorrow. Put the probe into the thickest part of the meat there. Close the door. Push start. You're going to see the probe is starting to read the temperature of the meat. We're starting to cook. And now we are ready to go home and come back in the morning to a perfectly cooked piece of pork, and we'll continue on. All right, it's the morning after, and our Bo Ssam has been cooking all night. You can see that our Cres Cor unit has gone into a hold at 150 degrees. We're at 20% moisture, and now we're ready to continue the process of putting in the brown sugar, and we're gonna start to, we're gonna caramelize that, so we're gonna also heat up the unit. So I'm gonna pop the unit in, take our probe out, and you can see that we've got beautiful rendering caramelization. You can see just nice and tender. This is exactly what you want to see when you pull this out in the morning. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to open it up, a little bit of brown sugar on it, but I'm going to get the unit rocking a little bit higher temperature. So we're going to go back into our cook mode here. I'm going to go all the way to 350 degrees. I'm going to do a time of 15 minutes. So we're going to let that preheat. And while that's preheating, we'll go back to our pork here, and I'm basically just going to turn it around and open it back up a little bit. Just like that. And then I'm going to put a little bit of brown sugar over it. And since we did a little cure with the salt and sugar, this is going to add another level. And then we'll be ready to put it into some lettuce cups. We put this on here. We're going to wait for our Cres Cor unit to heat up, and then we'll throw it back in. All right, it's been 15 minutes, and the Cres Cor unit is telling us that it is done. So let's open up and see what we've got. So you can see here that we've gotten the brown sugar to melt all into the pork and create a nice little crust for us. That's exactly what we're looking for. And now let's take a look at our rice. So this rice went in right in the same time, so we're right about 20 minutes with that. So you can do multiple things at the same time. You can see here that we've got beautiful sticky rice. So let's go ahead and plate up the Bo Ssam a little bit here. We've got our plates. I'm going to do a couple leaves of our butter lettuce here. We'll do a nice little bunch of our rice. This is exactly what you want to see in a sticky rice. Is it actually stick together, and you can see that we haven't overcooked it, and the entire rice from the bottom and the top have been cooked. That's what you're going to get with those 4 fans that we had. That convection is going to make sure that we're getting a nice even cook here. Then we're going to take and we're just going to go right into the pork here, and you can see that it's soft, but we still have texture. So we're not over braised here is a real big part here. We still want to be able to taste the pork, but we don't want it to be super tough. We want to have a little to the bite. Very hot here. Another little piece for pork. And we've got a little bit of a Ssam sauce here with some gochujang, a little ginger, green onions, a little sherry vinegar, soy sauce, and brown sugar. So we'll put that on top. And there we have Korean Bo Ssam done in our Cres Cor Quick-Therm cook and hold and convection oven unit.